इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी। अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है।
अरे मेरे राजा,
मसाला।
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
I am absolutely fed up, like you are, I'm sure, with the U-turns of the BCCI and the ICC and cricket politics. And I feel bad, like every citizen of India does, that these people, because they want to make some money over cricket, are ready to compromise the nation. Terrible. Pakistan has taken another magnificent U-turn in its decision to not play, not play, not play, keep changing its mind, ladies and gentlemen. First they say they stand with Bangladesh, then they said we stand with them so much that we don't participate in the World Cup. Then they put Shehbaz Sharif in front and he said we've taken a clear decision not to play cricket with India because we are backing Bangladesh. Listen to what Shehbaz Sharif said.
T20 वर्ल्ड कप जो है उस हवाले से हमने बड़ा वाज़ेह स्टैंड लिया है कि हम हिंदुस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ जो मैच है वो हम नहीं खेलेंगे, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि ये खेल का मैदान है, ये सियासत नहीं है। खेल के मैदान में सियासत बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए। हमने एक बड़ा सोच समझ के हमने स्टैंड लिया है और इस हवाले से हमें बांग्लादेश के साथ पूरी तरह खड़े होना चाहिए।
That's what he said 8 days back. Now he's changed his line 8 days later. Now he's saying that the government of Pakistan is now directing the Pakistan national team to play, to take the field on February 15th for
Rahul Gandhi, he walked up to me on 26th November,
Okay.
on Samvidhan Divas.
Okay.
He came up to me and winked.
Winked.
Then when he winked the second time, I smiled. I asked him, your name is in interesting places.
Rahul Gandhi said that to you.
Huh. I said, you want me to send you a note? He said, huh? So I sent him a note. Today, a dear friend who's also a colleague, and this is a guy who had been in the Congress party, he said, do you know something? I said, no. He said, never reads.
But I'm finding it very interesting that on the 25th or 26th of November, on Samvidhan Divas, he winks at you and says your name is in interesting places, and then he talks about this in February in the budget session.
He hasn't read the note.
No, but doesn't it mean this is some form of a political blackmail that he did on
no
you?
Blackmail. What did he blackmail me for, yeah? I mean, listen, my life is an open chapter. I love guys who come at me. I've told you.
Thank you for staying with us on This Is Exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you with 3 big stories on the show this evening. The biggest exclusive we have today is on Hardeep Puri and the entire claim that was made in Parliament when the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, tried to target Hardeep Puri, claiming his name was in the Epstein files. Now, there were a series of charges made, none of them substantiated. But Hardeep Puri, who hit back yesterday, has, in a very detailed interview, spoken to Arnab about it. We have that and more coming up on the show. Here are the headlines.
So happened that this guy was part of the introduction. So that's why I'm sending a message to Reid Hoffman to him. But once we found out who he was, we switched off.
It's a no-holds-barred interview with Union Minister Hardeep Puri. Addresses the opposition claims, hits back at Rahul Gandhi for what he said in Parliament. A big boost for Indian Armed Forces. Defence Acquisition Council has approved the deal for 114 more Rafales. A deal that will cost India 3.25 lakh crore rupees.
ये देखिए शिवम को अंदर वहाँ बताइए पूछिए
चलो जाओ यार हो गया
खराब है भैया
जो मैंने साफ देने
तबीयत खराब है नहीं ड्राइवर चला तबीयत खराब की बात कही गई है
VVIP tobacco baron's Brad's son Shivam Mishra granted bail in just 5 hours after he was arrested, 5.5 hours after he was arrested. Even the court has asked questions about the lapses in the investigation. After uproar in Parliament over Rahul Gandhi's remarks, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey moves a substantive motion against the Lok Sabha leader of opposition, makes a series of allegations against Rahul Gandhi. In a detailed interview to our editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami, Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri hit back at Rahul Gandhi in a very, very loaded interview. Hit back at Rahul Gandhi and all the claims that were made on the Epstein files. It's for the first time that he goes into such great detail. Following the controversy, Hardeep Puri tells Republic that nobody can blackmail him. Here's an excerpt of that interview which will play out in entirety at 8 p.m.
You're in the line of fire as well.
I'm not in the line of fire. I'll tell you something.
You're in the line of fire over these Epstein files. Now, I think that, Mr. Puri, you and I should have an absolutely open and straight conversation on it. You have said yesterday that in 8 years, there is one substantive email. The opposition and others are saying there are 163 mentions as per the US government's Justice Department dedicated to Epstein, where there are references to you. That's not a small number. You've said you've met Jeff Epstein only a few times, but the correspondence and exchanges are established much more than that. Now, my question to you is, in what capacity were you in touch with Epstein?
Let me correct you. In the 8 years I was in New York, starting May, June 2009 to 2017, there's a total of 4 meetings with the man. In 8 years, 4 meetings. And the number of references there are, maybe repetition, there one after, if say Arnab, Hardeep Puri, Navika Kumar, Maria, so-and-so. So if you take one, that's their counting. If I say on record that there are not more than 3 or 4 meetings, or to be charitable, I'll say 4. And the email, what am I discussing? There are 2 things about...
Why are you having email exchanges with a dubious man? You have said yesterday that in the 8 years, allow me, there is one email I've exchanged with him, and later you said there's only one substantive email. Then went on to say there are 1 or 2 others. This clouds the mind of the public. We must be clear. It sounds... The critics will say this is wishy-washy.
For heaven's sake, let me show you the email. I can recite it from my... It's a discussion with Reid Hoffman, who is the founder of LinkedIn. And I'm a private citizen. When I'm put in touch with him and I meet him in Los Angeles, I'm saying that India presents a great opportunity for digital innovation, for internet penetration, for Make in India, Digital India. Epstein is about wrongdoing. Epstein, there are things in the Epstein files which are about criminal wrongdoing, which the FBI is chasing to bring justice to the victims of those things. This has got nothing to do with that. This is about somebody who's a private citizen saying India under Modi presents great opportunities. So please, somebody of your standing, Arnab, read the email. I remember it offhand. I can even tell you, read the email in its entirety. There's nothing about...
How do you assume I have not read it?
I have. Then I'm surprised you asking the question.
No, but may I ask you a follow-up?
Yeah, please.
If it is Reid Hoffman, you are Hardeep Puri, you are India's ambassador to the UN.
No, I'm not. I'm a private citizen at that point of time.
You're a private...
I ceased being India's ambassador in March 2013. This is an exchange of October 2014. 1 year and 6 months later.
You are saying you're pushing digital India.
Yeah.
How did Epstein know that the Reid Hoffman meeting was scheduled?
I told you...
What was his role in it?
No, I explained that. And let me explain it to you because you have hopefully more following. But I thought others have become very clear on it. I go there as part of a delegation of the Independent Commission on Multilateralism. I'm the Secretary General. A former Prime Minister of Australia is the chair of that. In that meeting, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. He sends an email to POTUS, this is legal counsel. Legal counsel means a lawyer. POTUS is President of the United States. Saying, tell POTUS to come for the high-level climate summit. A lot of important people will be there. Gordon Brown, Prime Minister of UK, President of Mongolia, XYZ. And he says, Hardeep Puri of India. He doesn't know me. He's heard of me because he's met me 1 or 2 times. And he suggests that Reid Hoffman meet me. So he sets up a meeting through somebody, I don't know who it is. I meet Reid Hoffman and I copy him. And what am I telling Reid Hoffman? He's asking me, did you persuade Reid to go to India?
No, he says, and you've been very uncharitable, you just said I have not read the emails.
No, I'm glad you're reading it. Then let's read the thing.
Why did you say that I have not read the email?
Because anyone who's read it would know that I'm pushing digital India, I'm pushing Make in India.
I know
and
that.
Before it is
I know that, but you know I never do interviews without going through this stuff.
No, I know that. That's why I know you, because you and I went to the same college. You are known for due diligence. That's why you have such a standing.
We were part of the same debating society as well. But my question is, he writes to you on 4th October 2014.
Yeah.
He says, tell him you will organize this trip to India to meet with science and tech people and social networking gurus. My question is, under what authority does Jeff Epstein tell you to organize a meeting for the LinkedIn chief?
Jeff Epstein in 2014 is somebody who's known to everybody. Somebody asked me, didn't you know who he was? No, I didn't know who he was. In 2008, he had some problem in Florida and he served house arrest. But in 2014...
That's my question. In 2008 alone...
Can I complete this? 2014, when I meet him, he's meeting the whole world. He's meeting heads of state, heads of government. He's meeting prime ministers and president. At that stage, when we found out that there is something wrong with the guy who's more controversial, my first meeting, I had a sense of unease.
What sense of unease?
I'll tell you, when my boss then, Terry Rod Larson, turned around and said, I want to take you and the chairman of the thing and the members of the board. Members of the board of highly respectable people to a evening event somewhere. I said, where? You know, he jokingly said, I won't tell you because you'll Google the place and you might not come. So I said, and how will I reach a place if you don't tell me where it is? So he said, Anna, the driver will bring you there. Then I asked Anna, what is the address you're taking us? I don't think she also knows. I Googled the address and I told my other colleagues, should we go? They said, well, you're going as part of a group. And he refers to that. There are a lot of people in that evening. I don't know if it's the same event, but my first meeting was, there is Woody Allen there, there is a prime minister of some ex-prime minister there, there are, Kevin Rudd, his name is mentioned, Prime Minister of Australia, I'm there. After a little while, you sit there, have that, and you come away. Now, in 8 years, you've met this guy 4 times. Yes, he says, meet somebody called Reid Hoffman. Reid Hoffman is a very respectable man. He is the founder of LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I send him a detailed mail saying, please go and invest in or look at India. What are the arguments I use?
No, I know the arguments you're using.
Then I
know the arguments you're using. In the middle of a very, very hot parliament session. We're in the middle of a very volatile parliament session. A lot is being said, a lot is being exchanged, a lot of accusations are being made, privilege motions are being moved up, and you're right there in the middle of the action. You're not a traditional politician. You're a technocrat bureaucrat
After 9 years of being a minister, you still don't want to allow me to be called a politician. I don't know what qualifies. Oh, well, yeah, I spent 39 years in the civil service, 4 years with an international think tank, and now here. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying this kind of.
That politicians are believed to have thick skin.
Well,
but you didn't start off being a politician, so I presume
no,
you
but
don't have the
listen
thick
to me.
skin to be a politician.
Listen to me. No matter what you do, if you take it seriously, you try and do the best you can. The thickness of your skin is a direct reflection of the kind of people you deal with. Now, when I was a civil servant, I dealt with more benign people. But, you know, as a politician, I have to deal with the honorable leader of the opposition, and dealing with him and the likes of him, you end up developing a thick skin.
In what way?
In what ways? Because, you know, my view, Arnab, is that politics, the essence of politics is freedom of speech. The essence of freedom of speech is discourse. And the essence, core of that is participation. Therefore, if you have an issue, you raise it in Parliament, stand there, let somebody else respond to it. But, you know, earlier I used to describe his brand of politics as shoot and scoot. Now it is spit and fly. Now, if he wants to raise an issue, he is never there. I mean, when he's not traveling abroad and even Parliament is in session, sometimes he's traveling abroad when Parliament is in session. Today, the issue is different. If he thinks someone, a foreign government, has a chokehold on us because XYZ, he has to explain it. Now, going and doing a jiu-jitsu grip posture, so-and-so happened, mixing up apples and oranges, etc. I can tell you as a former trade negotiator, you know, I was a trade negotiator in the year of the Lord, 1981. If you talk about trade deals, this is one of the best phases in India's history. We've got 9 deals, one after the other. 27 members of the EU. We've got a trade deal with the United States. And he says India is sold out. Sold out. And sold out why? Farmers not protected, data not protected, this not happened, that not. Arey bhai, explain to karo. Padh to lo kya likha hai? Arnab, this is a framework agreement on an interim agreement. There is still stuff to be negotiated. And he's linking it to something in some file somewhere, something in some file somewhere. Somebody has a friend of yours has a case somewhere. Arey bhai, the Prime Minister's mind is not wired to take pressure. I worked with the Prime Minister 9 years. I've been a member of his team, but I've had the privilege of knowing him earlier. And if there is any point of time, post-May 2014, our economy has gone from fragile 10th position to 4th position, going up. And it's shooting up. And he decides to echo somebody's view, it's a dead economy. He decides to say, this is not right, farmers are against it. Arey bhai, if you are serious about your profession, read what is there. My colleagues who are responsible for trade negotiations said, farmers' interests fully reflected. See what's in the joint statement. Somebody else puts out some sheet and then retracts it today. So all I'm saying is, our parliamentary democracy has 2 kinds of people who dedicate themselves for the Samaj Seva and the transformation of the country, and those who are casual about their work.
Okay, so you can catch that full interview at 8 p.m. when Arnab also gives his verdict on what he thinks about this entire Epstein controversy that Rahul Gandhi tried to raise in Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, the big story today is also on the Defence Acquisition Council. Now, this is significant for India. It was chaired by Rajnath Singh, Raksha Mantri. It's now given a green signal for defence procurement proposals valued at over 3.6 lakh crore to strengthen the capabilities of our armed forces. Now, there are different clearances given for the procurement of MRFA. This will enhance the capability of undertaking air dominance roles across spectrum of conflict, significantly boosting deterrence capabilities of IF, long-range offensive strikes. And for the Indian Air Force, here's what they are getting, the Rafales that they wanted. 3.6 lakh crore locked. Indian Air Force is getting Rafale, the multi-role fighter aircraft, which will have a lot of made-in-India parts, nearly 60% of indigenous parts that will be inside the Rafale, combat missiles, etc. Now, this is a very big deal. Airship paced high-altitude pseudo-satellite. Now, just looking at all the clearances that were given today for the Army, anti-tank mines also cleared in that meeting today. Armored recovery vehicles as part of the clearance that was given. T-72 tanks also cleared by the Defence Acquisition Council, along with the infantry combat vehicles, all of which is needed. And for the Navy, 4 MW marine gas turbine. There have been clearances of electric power generators, P-8I long-range maritime recon aircraft, also induction of marine gas turbine-based electric power generator under Make 1 category of Defence Acquisition Procedure 2020. Now, it's a big day for India today, and that's why I want to go across to Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor joining us on the broadcast this evening. Air Marshal Kapoor, this issue of jets, ever since, I mean, I don't want to joke about it, but it's been pending, since I became a journalist, everyone's talking about this deal. But very happy to know that it's finally gone through. I just wanted to get your perspective on what this means for the Air Force.
See, good evening to you and to your viewers.
Good evening.
It's a very important day in Indian military parlance, because this is the largest military deal ever done since independence. The evaluation for MRFA began in 2007. By 2011, the Air Force had tested and evaluated a large number of aeroplanes. In 2016, we waited for so long and we did G2G deal, and we got these 36 aeroplanes. Now, a lot of questions are being asked at that stage, that why we didn't go in for 126 that we had originally planned. Why did we take 36? That is a separate debate by itself. But the shortfall is primarily because our squadron strength is depleting at a very fast pace. The LCA Mark 1 and Mark 1A have not joined our service. Mark 1, we were to get all the aeroplanes by 2016. Two have still not come. The LCA Mark 1 Alpha was to fly by 28 and be a part of the Indian Air Force by 2021. That aircrafts have still not joined Indian Air Force. So on one hand, you have depleting strength, and we just went through Op Sindoor last year, and we have seen, and globally also we are seeing how the air warfare is changing. The numbers are too important to safeguard our borders, just the sheer numbers. Now, at this stage, to go in and evaluate a new platform, to go in, because the Indian Air Force is operating 2 squadrons, about 26 same platforms are being taken up by the Indian Navy. So it gives the Indian Air Force an advantage with regards to training, tactics, simulation, infrastructure, competence, utilization, interoperability, maintenance practices. All these will help Indian Air Force to consolidate. So with a known platform for last 6 years, which has done exceedingly well in the recent conflict, and going in for additional 140. This is one aspect. The second aspect, which is more important and which very few people are realizing, is that we are developing an ecosystem in India. The India of 2026 is different from India of 2016 when we did the G2G deal. Now, in the last year, we had M88, that the Safran engine that has its MRO set up in Hyderabad. We have large number of companies, big and small, starting with Tata's, which are manufacturing the fuselage. The demand list for delivery of Rafales with the French company is more than 590, I was reading somewhere, and they have only one production line close to Bordeaux. So they wish to diversify, and India has given an option to set up a final assembly line here in India. So if that comes through with the MRO of the engine in India, with the fuselage being manufactured here, with an agreement with which the negotiations will go on now to get more and more indigenous components, there is an absolute chance that the ecosystem around development of these aeroplanes will come up at a very fast pace, which will be good for our aerospace industry.
Yeah. Thank you, Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, for joining us. This is, I think the Air Force was asked a question on Rafales. They said the Rafale was the hero, the headline, the buzzword of Operation Sindoor. There's been a lot of debate on the Rafale, and we've seen that debate. That debate is now ended with the clearance now given by the government. Thank you for joining us on the show this evening. A big day for Indian defense, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, we are thanking you for being with us on this edition of This Is Exclusive. We'll take a break. Coming back with trending, but don't miss the full interview as Arnab presses Hardeep Singh Puri on the Epstein storm and much more, and he gives it back. Arnab's verdict on the entire controversy at 8 p.m. Thanks for watching.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
अरे टेंशन किस बात की? सेंचुरी प्रोवुड का प्रीमियम प्लस है ना, लो एमिशन है, हाई डेंसिटी है, वाटर रेजिस्टेंट भी है, टर्माइट एंड बोरो रेजिस्टेंट भी है। यानी ये है जहां नो टेंशन वहां।
प्रीमियम प्लस बाय सेंचुरी प्रोवुड।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Himanto Biswa Sarma, good evening.
Good evening.
And everyone across the countries watched your press conference yesterday.
Yes.
Now, you see, now that you've done the press conference, you've made some very, very damning allegations against Gaurav Gogoi.
Yes.
Are you doing it? First question, let's have it out of the way. Are you doing this because you're facing a huge test in your political career with the Assam elections coming up, and he's the person, Rahul Gandhi,